So I have a confession. I don't actually like to buy plants online. I know. I guess I'm just really lucky. Around my area, there are so many plant shops and so many places to find interesting plants. I just really love the thrill of the hunt, you know? I have done plenty of online plant shopping, mostly when I'm looking for something specific or something kind of difficult to find. But enter COVID, and now I'm finding that, maybe online plant shopping is not so bad. Plus, I know not everyone lives in an area where there's lots of plant shopping choices. I see you, Melissa and Julie. So I wanted to be able to find out some great resources and to give you some tips on your plant shopping. Today, I am going to unpack this box. It's from Steve's Leaves. And I am going to show you what I got from them. And then I'm also just going to give you some plant shopping tips because maybe you've never done it before and you're kind of new to the online plant shopping world. So I am going to let you know some things you really want to watch out for before you start your online plant shopping. Stick around because I am going to have a list of all of the places that I have known and loved. And I'm also going to have a list of places that my friends, this beautiful community on Instagram, the plant community is an amazing community. Oh my word, so many resources, so many great places to shop online. So I'm going to have their list of resources as well. Plus, you'll want to know what's in here, won't you? Before we move on, I need to say to you guys, thank you so much. Your support has meant the world to me. It just really delights me and it helps me out, and I'm just so grateful. Thank you. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and hit that cute little red button down there and just make my day. And you'll get a nice dose of Friday happiness in form of a plant video coming at you. So come on, it's worth it. So as I open this box, which I'm just so excited about, the very first tip I want to share with you is make sure you are purchasing a plant from a trusted seller. As I mentioned, I'll have a list for you at the end of this video, so if you don't have a trusted seller, you can take my word for it and the word of this amazing community. But you really, really need to make sure you know who you're purchasing plants from. Please don't Google your favorite plant and then buy from the very first people that you see on the internet. You really want to make sure they're reputable growers or brokers and they're not just like robbing the rainforest, you know? Plus, you're going to want somebody who has like a reputable business and is gonna have like acceptable business practices. So it's just a no-brainer. And you guys, there's just a lot of different options from like big box stores to small online shoppers, Etsy, even Craigslist and Facebook. I mean, you really just wanna know who you're shopping with. So it's just a good rule of thumb. No matter where you choose, you're just gonna wanna minimize your risk. So at a minimum, that's really knowing what their return policy is. You got to know how many days you can return it and for what purposes. Like if you're just not satisfied, if it was broken, are you allowed to return it? If you're not satisfied, how long can you return it? These are things that are really important. Also, you should know their shipping policy. How many plants are shipping together? Are they going to separate them? Are they going to put them together in the same box? Do they have accommodations available for inclement weather? These things really matter. You don't want to be spending your moolah on a plant to only then have it show up in shambles and need to be returned or broken and you're trying to fix it. It's just really important that you know those things. All these things are going to give you kind of an idea of how risky it is to shop with this online retailer. As far as Steve's Leaves go, they have been in the business for like some 40 years and they're really great. They are awesome to work with, and their return policy and their shipping policies check all the boxes. They're totally a safe brand to choose. What I really like about Steve's Leaves too is first of all, they give you a lot of information about how to unpack the plant, and I'll go over that in a second. But they also include on their website, they give a lot of information about the plant. It's obvious that they know a lot about the plant and they're trying to educate you as the consumer on how best to grow this plant so that you don't buy a plant that you aren't really set up to take care of. So I just really like that, and I think that that's really something that you should be looking for in a retailer because it shows that they know what they're talking about and they're just a good resource for you. And something else to keep in mind as you are thinking about looking at the plant description is you want to know, and I have been in a situation before where I thought I was getting a full plant and I ended up with just a cutting because I wasn't reading the full description. So you definitely don't want to be surprised. You know, maybe you think you're getting a bigger plant and it's actually a 4-inch plant or a 6-inch plant. You definitely want to be aware of that. This might be more applicable for like smaller sellers on Etsy or what have you, but you know, just be aware. Customer reviews are going to be the thing that's going to help you out so much here. So look on their website. Obviously those are going to be fairly positive, but you might learn about their customer service, you might learn about how they handle things, but then also check them out on other websites as well for their reviews. And obviously if you can, just ask a friend for a recommendation. Right here. Now, as I unwrap this, I'm so excited. As I unwrap this, you really want to make sure that you are following the unwrapping directions, because I have been in a situation where I have not done that and it has not been good for me. You guys, they know what they're talking about on these directions, okay? They do it all the time. Just follow the instructions and you won't be disappointed. Most online sellers are going to tell you not to water the plant right away or not to repot it right away, because obviously it is going through a lot. It's just been in the dark for a couple days or more, and they probably watered it before they packed it. So if it's really dry, water it, but just be really cautious, and you just kind of want to baby it and let it do its thing when it arrives, because it's kind of going through a little bit of a shock. Okay, so, you know, I really needed another Calathea in my collection. I'm really excited about this one. This is Calathea Rosy, and Rosy is short for Rosio picta. Rosio picta. And I mean, those are gorgeous leaves. This light, I'm outside underneath my, it's evening and the light is not great because I'm underneath my outside lights, my overhead twinkle lights or whatever. So it's not great light. I will show this to you. Maybe I'll take some better pictures tomorrow to include here, but look at that. Gorgeous, gorgeous. Everything looks to be in great shape. It came in one piece. You can see it's packed nice and tight. This plastic was tight over the top of the pot. There's paper in there on top of underneath that, so the soil is all in there. So it's great. And look, I mean, those are big leaves for such a tiny little pot. Rosy. Oh, you're so cute. I can't wait to introduce it to its friends. Next on the list, there's 2 plants in here. Did I tell you that there was 2 plants in here? I should have showed you inside. I mean, one was laying here, one was laying here. They were in great shape. The mailman was very gentle with them though. The box came beautifully intact, which sometimes it doesn't. That's why shipping methods matter. Packing methods matter. Cool. Okay, so this one's not gonna look like much. But some of you have known that my arbor has been looking so plain, and I have been looking for trailing, flowering plants because that area does get sun. I have been looking for plants that look kind of tropical but are trailing to cover up some eyesores over there. I'll show you because I know we're friends and you won't judge how awful that area is. Anyway, so I have been looking for a specific vine, and I was so excited when I hopped over on sLeavesUnboxing and I found one. This is a Senecio Confusus Sao Paulo. I don't really know what all those words mean, but what I do know is this is going to produce a beautiful bright orange flower, and it grows like 3 feet wide and it grows like 6 feet long. I'm so excited. It looks to be in great shape. And I am losing light. I'm sorry, it's getting a little bit dark. It looks to be in great shape. I mean, it's just beautiful. And that's what you really hope for in an online plant store, is that you would be really surprised and amazed at how great the plants are. Sometimes, you know, you get on there and you see a picture, you have to be aware that it might not be what arrives at your home. You could very well be rather disappointed, because what they might be showing you online is actually a mature plant or a more mature plant, and what they're shipping is likely going to be a more juvenile plant. These are obviously juvenile plants, they're very small. Just be aware that it's going to come and it might not look like the picture. In some instances, particularly with Steve's Leaves and Plantarina specifically, they kind of overperform, and what shows up at your door is generally better looking than the picture somehow. The plants are in such great quality. So that's what I'm looking for in terms of an online plant shop, is that the plant comes to me and I'm totally wowed by the quality. That definitely makes me want to buy from there again. Keep messing with the light, hoping I can catch it. The sun has gone down. I'm racing against time here. One thing I forgot to mention is I would definitely, if you can and if it's possible, to spring for faster shipping. You got to kind of think about where they're located. A lot of them are growing kind of in the more southern states and the warmer states. So if you are far in the north, you definitely want to consider how long it's going to take for that plant to get there. And shipping times can vary depending on a lot of things. I mean, the shorter amount of time that your plant is sitting in a dark box on some truck or in some warehouse, potentially getting hot or cold, you just want to minimize that as much as possible. For me, getting a solid plant that I know is going to arrive in great condition is my priority. I definitely don't want to get a plant that's beat up and not looking great. I mean, that's just kind of a bummer for me. And I'm generally risk averse, so I'm not really about, like, you know, maybe getting a cutting of some amazing plant and it not showing up and then living. So, but that's just me. There's lots of other options out there. So you just kind of got to know what your risk tolerance is and then go for it. As I said, online plant shopping is not my main jam for finding plants. I love the hunt of plant shopping. I love to touch them. I love to look at them and pick them up and check out their roots and all that kind of fun stuff. But I am familiar with a handful of plants, and so I have those listed here. And the amazing plant community over on Instagram, oh my gosh, they're amazing. And by the way, if you haven't followed me, follow me over there for sure. The plant community recently let me know their favorite plant shops online, and I have those listed as well. Again, I haven't shopped with all of those. I have them separated so you know my personal recommendations and the recommendations from the plant community at large. I would definitely give any of these a try, just remembering the previous tips that I told you. Go ahead and snap a screenshot and you can share it with your friends. In this time, I think supporting our plant industries is just really important. So go ahead and check these out. Go look and see if they have something that you'd be willing to purchase or send to as a gift for somebody else. I love you guys. Thank you so much for being here as I unboxed these beauties, and I'll keep you updated how they go. I'm sure I'll show you as I hang this one and what it does, and of course when this sweet little Rosie joins her friends in the bathroom, I will show you how this one is doing as well. I'll be updating, so just keep in touch. Please subscribe here if you haven't already, and thank you so much, you guys. Check out these videos too for additional tips, and I will see you guys next Friday. Thank you so much for being here.